Hello, I'm back. I'm so very sorry. I meant to put my phone on charge and I forgot. So yeah, I I have no excuse. Yeah, I have no words either. All right, let's see if I can quickly close this one and reopen the other one. All right, so this is like part B of our live stream. Technical difficulties, but you know, we persevere. We keep trying. I hope that it's brought up again on the same live stream. All right, I have no idea if I'm on the right one. Maybe it's this one. Which one am I on? I think I found it. Okay, let's see. I'm back. I need more white paint. So I recently learned that you can use the back of a paintbrush to do white dots. So I thought we could try that. Hi Carly, so sorry. I'm really sorry. It's been a while since I had one of those flat battery moments. Oh well. Well, I have no words. I have no words. I think if we do like nice little stars here, there, everywhere, it'll look really pretty. I mean, like some places it's not as blended smoothly, but it's not too bad. All right, and then I want to try and smoothen some of this out a little. So I think here I'm just using some ultramarine just to make it look a bit more like water. I've actually not painted water at night too much, so. Hi Kenny, how are you? Apologies. Hi, Gia. Thanks for coming back. I'm just trying to see if I can make this a little bit more finesse than clunky, but I don't mind if it actually stays clunky because it's a good first effort. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I am trying to show a little bit of like the moonlight reflecting in the water. So maybe it's a little bit more choppy, but anyway. No, you don't know unless you try. Sometimes by trying you learn what not to do. So what I'm going to do now is just try and deepen up some of the shadow area a bit. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it now and stop fiddling with it and move on to the bushes. And then I'll let the bushes dry and we can start working on the building. And I'm thinking I'm going to make the rooms all lit so it's like nice and everyone's at home and cozy. Okay, so for this one I want to use some blackish green, I think mixed with some olive green. So we'll have a try. I have got some black, so I can always mix the black. Right, so So I want to try and create leaf texture. So if I can't let you know, like make it smooth. I need to make sure I make it kind of like splotchy. Right, I'm gonna zoom you in a bit so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. So here I'm just using an opaque, I'm not watering it down at all. I want a little bit of texture. Ah, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to use some yellow green. Which is really bright. Alright, I'm going to try and mix some of this olive green with the yellow green. Make like a mid-tone color. I'm just basically trying to mix this, and then I'll let it dry and I'll go over it with a different brush. So I have a different brush, you know those fan brushes, probably work a bit better. Yeah, I think it does work with mixed in with the other green. And we come here and so if I use a fan, I think a fan brush. This is a really old brush, so we'll see how it works. Yeah, I think that more on the like an end would work better. Sometimes it's nice to play with different brushes. Use a bit of black. You can do a bit of shadowing. And now at the bottom here it will have like shadows. So apparently the key when you like painting bushes and trees is you want to have a believable silhouette. As long as your silhouette is believable and kind of resembles a natural shape, it will look fine. But if it's like too round and not really well shaped, then it looks a bit wonky. At least that's what I'm trying to get my head around. And apparently you want to let the layers between also dry so that you're getting things like not smudged. It's a bit more defined. So we'll let that dry. But I don't think that that's too bad. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other ones and then we can tweak them as they dry. I'll move my little arrow sticker. Thank you. It does look nice. I am pleased with it. For one of my first times using gouache, I'm like, yeah, I can. It's not too bad. I can work with this. And the biggest thing I find with painting is not to try blend everything out, but to allow like for it to be splotchy, because when you look at it from a distance, it looks right. Exactly, we get better every time we use it. I've picked up some of my blue. Oh well. Right, so lighten it up. It takes a lot of concentration. Like, I'm concentrating so hard. Oh, thank you, Kenny. I'm glad you're enjoying watching me do bushes. I've changed to a different size brush to help me get into all these like little nooks and crannies. And I've mixed some black with the olive green, and that's just to help me keep my more like shadowy bits. And then if I go over like bits of the ground with paint, I'll just, you know, work around that. And the closer I get to the light, the lighter my shadows can get. So yeah, this is the first time I'm painting bushes with gouache. I had every intention to practice this on separate paper, following a tutorial, but no, I decided to plunge right in. Yeah, I'm trying some of my older brushes, but they're not, I think they're too old. I'm glad I'm not the only one who just plunges right in. When I look up and I see how it's looking on the screen, it looks really cool. Hi Debbie, how are you? Right, I need more of the yellow green. Okay. I'm going to go over this with the yellow green in a sec. Oh, sorry, my hand's in the way. Let me lift this up. I do like how quickly painting can make a coloring page. The yellow green is gorgeous. I really like the HIMI colors. They're really vibrant. So I really am impressed with how vibrant the colors are. I'm going to let that dry so I can make it a bit more leaf-like. But I'm not going to stress too much because it is a nighttime scene, and nighttime scenes aren't necessarily the most detailed. So I'm just going to give that a few minutes and then I'll finish it. Because it's kind of going on top, I need it all to dry so that I don't smudge the bushes into each other and make a big hot mess. Alright, so I'm just going to take a white pen and just try and, it's a Posca pen, and just draw back in some of these steeple type things. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how to do buildings yet. You could probably paint the entire thing with gouache paints and it would probably look really pretty. I'm not sure I'm there yet. Not that courageous. Right, so I want to use a yellow for the insides of the windows. I want to make the windows like the lights are on. So I'm using a canary yellow, and I'll probably get like a little bit of orange. So I'm going to pretend that there's some sort of event happening in this castle and people are all over the place. They're having fun. So there's people cooking dinner or food for a party. There's guests in the hall and they're dancing, having a ball. There's the stewards and the butlers and they're running. There's the waiters and the waitresses. There's the children who are staying up late even though they've been told to go to bed because they're so excited to see all the gentlemen and the beautiful ladies dressed in their finery. There's probably a little girl or a little boy or both sneaking down, hiding behind curtains, watching, intrigued by everything that's going on, trying to sneak a pastry here or there. Oh yes, there you go. Meringue nest with strawberries, an eat-on mess. There you go. What else would they be doing? Maybe there's an older sister rolling her eyes, reading her book. She'd rather read her book than be in the public eye. I don't know, it's nice to pretend that there's all sorts of people. All right, let's try and move this up a bit more. Probably don't need all the lights on, but anyway, they're so excited and eager that they forgot to switch off the lights as they go from room to room. There's lots of laughter, beautiful music. Minus the custard. Dear reader, yes. Oh, dear diary, I can't believe it's happened again. My parents have thrown yet another ball, and I am stuck listening to this frivolous laughter and gaiety, whilst all I want to do is curl up in absolute silence and disappear into the fantastical world of Wendy, I don't know, the Wicked Witch of the West sister, and how she loves her sister and defends her. Oh, I don't know. Or maybe it's a romance novel or a murder mystery. Take your pick. It could be a crime, like maybe it's an Agatha Christie inspired novel. Or maybe it's a teenager. All the goings on downstairs. Maybe she's more in like this section of the room, and she's just going, dear diary, the boy at school, he looked at me again. Oh, dear diary, I thought my heart would skip a beat. I thought my heart would stop. He actually looked. And in that moment, the world stood still. She could be a love-struck teenager. Kenny, I read to my children so much. I love story. I love reading to my kids. I love books. I've had people tell me I should write, but I freeze up when I write because I don't know what to write. And I get stuck on the plot and the story. You're intrigued. I have a very vivid imagination. I remember writing one stage about it was just in a journal, and in my writings, this man had gone into a casino and he was gambling, but you know, and then he met up with someone, and it was all this heart-wrenching stuff came out, and how he loves his wife and he's trying best, and he's stuck in this awkward position. And yeah, my brain just kind of went really deep very quickly. I didn't finish the story. I got stuck. I tried writing poetry for school. I had to do like the iambic pentameter and all of that, and counting all the syllables, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I wasn't very good at analyzing literature. I wanted to read the story. I read Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol almost every year. Not because I wanted to, but because that was in my literature reader. I tried reading Jane Eyre twice. I couldn't get on with her. Tried Terry Pratchett. Found that only as an adult can I enjoy Terry Pratchett. But I love good stories. I love reading them to my kids. I like reading them myself. So I've read Alice in Wonderland, and I'm busy reading Alice Through the Looking Glass to my youngest boy. We read Greek fables, Norse mythology. You're about to get the popcorn. All right, should I go back? Okay, so do you want the murder mystery or the romantic one? I promise it will always be above board. Because I can let my mind wander if you want to listen. It might at some point just go like, no, hang on, erase, go backwards. Yes, that's true. I could write them later and record them. Right, I'm stuck on these windows. Like, which part is the window and which part is the blind? Maybe I do, yeah, I don't know. All right, I forgot a certain section here. So let's pick up some paint. The nice thing with gouache is that you want to listen, okay. All right, so there's the ball, and the house has got the Duke and the Duchess. They are nothing fancy, great people, but they have a daughter who couldn't be bothered. She's fed up with being told what to do, and all she wants to do is actually go off and chart her own course. But she's been told that she has to live up to the family name and she has to marry well. So I might go a bit, you know, kind of like Jane Austen here, or Victorian. And she's just not interested, because last week when she had gone down to the market with her servants in waiting, her handmaiden, she had passed by a local fisherman and seen a very handsome young man, and their eyes had glanced at each other for a moment, and in that moment it was as though she had met her soulmate, and she'd secretly always wanted to know what was on the other side of the lake, what was on the other side of where she is being kept and told what she has to do and what not, and how to dress and what to say. And she's tired of just tinkering on the piano and being told to do her lessons well. She wants adventure. She wants to explore. She wants to see the outworld. But there is this dazzling man with ripped muscles and a chiseled jaw. So she's stuck. And now she's writing about him in her diary. Because who else can she tell except her handmaid, who giggled and laughed and thought, oh, mistress, how could you? You know that your mum, what would your mother say? Or worse yet, your dad. I mean, he could, you know, stop this young man's career as a fisherman. He could banish him and send him away. And so she never got to know his name, but she quickly leaps up off her bed as the sound of laughter fills the house and the music and the minstrels, and she says to her handmaiden, oh, do you know his name? Have you heard of him? And the handmaiden's like, oh, yes, madam, my lady. He is... Okay, wait, we need a good strong name for him. What's a good strong name? Frederick. Okay, cool. All right. His name is Frederick, and he is the son of the most successful fisherman in the village. Ah, yes, the fisherman that sits by the windmills gazing at the sunset. Oh, yes, I remember him. I went past him the one day, and my sister sat down next to him and was asking him all sorts of questions. She does that. She's just constantly full of questions. Yes, ma'am, he is Frederick. And I believe that he is wanting to go off to a far-off land to try his luck at the next fishing competition. But rumor has it he's not really that interested in fishermen. No, what he really wants to do is travel the world and paint. Oh, he a painter. Not only is he handsome, but he is a painter. Oh, I've always wanted to go off. You know, what if the world is more than just the lake? What if there are mountains? I've heard tales of forests that are as dark and as gloomy as the witch's forest down yonder past the lake near the city, the place where we are not forbidden. Oh, but oh, how I've wanted to go there and find out if there really is something so terrible lurking in that woods. And the handmaiden says to her, "Oh, mistress, you know, Frederick, he has been known to go into those woods. And he's the only man that has come out back and hasn't gotten lost, or worse, eaten by werewolves." No, mistress, no. Those warnings are very, very sincere. You can't go. And I don't know why Frederick is the only one who has braved it. And the princess, or the duke's daughter, sighs. Oh, not only is he handsome, but he is also brave and fearless and has gone places where the people tremble. Oh, when do you think I can see him again? Soon. Yes, madam, but you know, we'll have to wait till the morning, because right now the house is full of guests and honored people. And then there's a noise at the door, and there's this commotion and the sounds of men's voices coming loud and clear. "Oh, what now? What are you doing here? This is not the place where you hand deliver the fish. You need to go round the back, and you need to present yourself to the cook, and he will take care of this fish. And you are 3 hours late." And the princess, or the duke's daughter, whatever she is, peeks out of her window in curiosity, and lo and behold, there stands Frederick with his eyes glistening in this moonlight, dressed in, I don't know, what's he dressed in? Nice jeans. I don't know, what sort of trousers? Like, I'm getting confused between modern age right now. Modern age and Victorian. Okay, maybe. So he's wearing nice trousers and flannel shirt, and it's white, and it's kind of like, you know, snug on him, and she's like all swoony, like, oh, there he is, the love of my life, the man who will take me out of this tower and let me go and see worlds of mystery and wonder. Right, I am now stuck. I need to do the beaks on these swans. Okay. Right, so she peeks down and she decides that she's going to risk it all. She is going to go down and see if she can meet Frederick. So she races off amidst her handmaidens' calls of caution, like, "No, mistress, not yet, don't go. They will see you. Your mother, your father will be angry. They don't want you. It's not, you haven't come of age yet. Oh, bother that. I don't care. I am going to go and see him. I must know him." And she races down to the cook, and I don't know, maybe she goes and gets dressed up and pretends to be one of the waitresses. Yes, so that's what she'll do. She'll dress up and pretend she is one of the waitresses serving, and goes to assist. So she's dressed in boys' clothing. And, hello, sir, can I help you? Oh, yes, and their eyes lock and they meet, and her heart skips a beat. Getting stuck. Then, oh yes, well, I have come to deliver this fish. Oh, but it is 3 hours late. Yeah, he's not going to be very pleased about that. Oh yes, I do apologize for that. My father had a slight illness that needed some urgent care, but he's, oh my goodness, is he okay? Yes, no, he's fine. He's with the doctor, and the doctor reassures us he'll be all right in a couple of days. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please let him know that everything... Would you care for a fish taco? Or maybe she's just too busy, like, you know, leaning on the table, staring at him a bit, and forgetting that she's pretending to be a man or a waitress or whatever. Oh, please, sir, please tell me your name. Oh, my name is Frederick. Oh, Frederick. And then she hears a commotion and she has to quickly run and dash. But oh, at least he spoke to her and she knows his name, and she will forever love fish because that is his choice food. Oh my goodness. She gets back to her room unscathed. Falls on her bed with a deep sigh and goes, oh, Frederick, is there no greater name than that of Frederick? I will have no other. I must find a way for us to be wed. So we can go sailing across the world and have adventures together, and I can escape this place and be free. The end of diary entry number 1. An ode halibut as his cologne leaves her breathless. Oh, I love that. I'm just absolutely talking rubbish. There you go, colouring with the story. Now you have experienced so much and learned so much about gouache painting and storytelling on the fly. Oh, thank you. I can start a new series. Hi, Brittany. How are you? I'm sorry to hear your cat is not well. Oh, thank you, Gia. Alright, I think I'm going to use like some of the grays. Kind of like do this. I'll have to give some thought to the building and what colors to use. Oh, thank you. I used HIMI Gouache paints. I've got the set of, I think it's 48 colors. So it's not a very big one, but it works all right. I didn't want to get a very big set of gouache paint because I didn't want to, I want to actually learn a bit more color mixing and I felt that one of the best ways to do that was to allow myself a little more limited set. We'll make this a bit more like gravel. Oop. And I have found in the Airy books, the colorless blenders work really well. So it does help speed up the process. Okay, so there we go. We got that bit done. Hi Mona, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Welcome to the inner workings of my imagination. I just finished reading for the first time the story, The Strange Case for Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. So yeah, that's been an interesting read. I even listened to a podcast on that one. Okay, so I have here beautiful blues and greens and yellows. I've already done a castle with a red roof. So I'm wondering what kind of color roof to do. Because everything's so nice and rich and dark, I really am liking it. But I don't want to go and make it too dark. But we've done a lot. I mean, we've done like a good third of the page, which is really great. Maybe we do like brown. Yeah, maybe we can do browns. Let's see. I use some, I think it's burnt ochre. What is it? Yeah, burnt ochre. Maybe mix like some burnt ochre, some jade greens, some grays, maybe some sandbar brown into the walls. Maybe that would work. Let's try. Right, I want some dark browns, so maybe like some espresso. I don't think I'm going to get to coloring the entire building in this live stream. But it is really, really nice to be able to just sit down and paint and color and chat and hang out with you guys. I think I'm going to do all the ledges like black. I might need to bring in some of this light onto the walls. I will include the pencils I use in the description below, as well as the HIMI paints. So if you want to follow along, you can. I hope your cat feels better. It's really hard when they're not well. I'm not sure about the color of the walls. I'm not sure. I wonder what color to do the curtains. I'll have to give it some thought. think brown walls will probably be better. The next thing I need to learn with the gouache is how to color in trees, and not trees, clouds. We could even take a gold gel pen on these ridges, and that could look quite nice. I have seen people use gouache to paint walls in the Airy books. I don't remember if the person I watched actually colored the entire wall, or if they just used a bit of a watered down gouache and colored like more of the shadowed areas to create like a white wall. But what I want to do is, I think it's in the second tale, I want to try and paint pink trees with gouache and a sky. I don't know if I'll actually get to trying clouds yet. I think I might practice that more off camera and like on separate paper. Oh, that's handy to know that there are books on gouache that show you how to mix different colors and or paint different objects or things. That's really cool to know. There are a couple of channels on YouTube that also have a few tutorials. So if you're a visual learner and like learning with those sort of things, that's handy. Otherwise, if you prefer, oh dear, I will have to do that edge somehow, maybe very, very carefully. All right, I'll make a plan. I'll figure that part out. That's a problem with protecting it, but it's okay. We can figure it out. It's not terribly difficult. I don't like going into the spine here with paint. I always worry that it's going to bleed through into the other pages. Coloring buildings is one different thing. It is really nice to use gouache because you can have that almost acrylic-like feel with your paints. And yet you can also water it down to a watercolor consistency if you need to. Right, so I'm pretty much going to do this sort of thing for the entire building using these colors. I will fix up this section here with the paints as well. So yeah, there's just a few minor details. I've done like the swans, so things like the doors and the trimmings will, I think, probably be done with a gel pen. But yeah, the bulk of this page is pretty much done, and it was really fun to be able to do a lot of it with gouache paint. I really enjoyed that, so I think I'm going to do that again. I have got an idea for a Hannah Carlson page where I'm going to use gouache and create a block background, but then I'm going to get leaves from outside and paint them with a lighter color and actually stamp in the background. And I've also bought myself some like scrapbooking flowers and leaves that I think would look really nice as, you know, with the Hannah Carlson girls. You could stick them on as flowers and leaves. So I've got that as an idea. So yeah, those are just some ideas I've got in my head, more of the Rita Berman Asia book. I need to finish that color along and start a new one. So I've got a couple of ideas going on in my head. And I will pop up a few more pictures for you guys to choose from for the Asia coloring book. Some changes in the background in like personal life that I'm hoping will just lift off a little bit of pressure and unnecessary stress, and I'm hoping it's going to filter into my coloring and I'll be able to color more, do more videos and all of that. So at least that's my hope. That's what I keep trusting for. Can't promise anything because I don't know, but I can definitely say that the intention is still there. That's kind of where my heart is going. And yeah, so I'll try also do a few more videos where it's just chatty videos and you can grab a cup of coffee or tea and just sit and watch if it tickles your fancy. So things like just a recap of what I've colored in the year so far, maybe kind of like a mid-year freakout tag or something like that. So I'll see what I can do. But yeah, so this is kind of like how I'm envisioning my page. So I'm gonna move it back so you can see the full thing. And as always, I do apologize again for the technical difficulties. But yeah, that's how it looks. Kind of what I'm going for. Nice, dark and eerie. Not sure yet on the roof. Maybe I'll do a very pale blue. I'm not sure yet. But thanks for hanging out with me, for letting me have a storytelling wonder, for experimenting with gouache, and I really appreciate all of you. Hope you have a lovely week ahead, and enjoy your coloring, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Thanks everyone. Bye.